Okay, so a few months ago, I bought myself a DJI Neo, and I have absolutely loved every minute of flying this thing. Then I was given the FPV3 remote, and honestly, everything changed.
I'm going to try and do a crazy drastic turn. Too drastic, I think. Oh no. Oh, I've crashed. Whoa. Yeah, well close to that tree. Oh, let's go fast. How fast can I go? Ah! No, oh no, watch it, watch it!
I think it's paused.
You see, the FPV3 remote allows you to fly in full manual mode, which means that you're basically in control of every single movement that your drone does. So that's whether it's rolling left or right, turning left or right, pitching forwards or backwards, as well as how much power that you're putting in. It sounds complicated, but believe me, it's a million times more complicated than you would think. And having flown in manual mode for the first time and crashed about 1,000 times, I decided to set myself a bit of a challenge. Could I take myself from being a complete novice FPV pilot to a somewhat competent pilot in just 7 days using nothing but a simulator? And yeah, that's pretty much what this video is about, so should we find out? I forgot I had a beer. So I picked up Liftoff Simulator in Steam. It was about 15 quid, I think. There are different simulators out there. There's Velocidrone and a bunch of others. Setting up was really easy. You'd literally just plug your control in. I think you can use anything. You can even use like a PlayStation controller, I think. And you do a little bit of calibration and then you're basically in and flying. I did a quick tutorial, which I found impossibly difficult, and then I jumped in and just started doing free flight, and again found it just so difficult. One of the most difficult things was that the drones I was flying in the simulator were way more powerful than the Neo, so that meant that every tiny movement of my sticks was just sending the drone absolutely flying. But the more I flew, the more I started to get a bit used to it, and I found that flying, particularly at higher speeds, was, you know, I was starting to have some control, but flying with any degree of accuracy, and particularly at lower speeds, I was just bloody useless. At one point I got stuck in a house and there was just a big window in front of me, and I spent literally 15 minutes trying to fly through that window. You know when a fly is in your house and you open the window to let the fly out, and the fly is just like, I don't know what do you want me to do? I can't get out of that. And you're like, look, it's the whole window. I've opened the whole window as wide as it will go. The fly's just like, I just can't. I know exactly how that fly feels now. But as I continued, I started to notice that my skills, and I call them skills very loosely, were starting to improve. I had some control over where the drone was going, and I started to understand a little bit more how the drone wanted to move. I started practicing a few different maneuvers. I started with some orbits, which are really difficult. You have to kind of roll the drone to one side while also turning to face the object that you're orbiting around. Once you're in the orbit, it's relatively straightforward, but getting into the orbit is really difficult, and the amount of brain power I had to use just to think about, hang on, right, okay, now I need to go this way and I need to turn. It was just crazy how much I had to think about it. And then I started to fly on a different map, which was kind of a racetrack map. And I decided to just try to keep my drone as low as I could to the racetrack while also staying in the confines of the track as I flew around it. And as I was doing that, after a few laps, something really interesting happened. It just clicked. I suddenly felt that I had intuitive control over where the drone was going. Everything just started to make a bit more sense. So I jumped into a different map, which was much more complicated. There were lots more things to avoid, lots more obstacles to fly around. And I started to do things like orbits, and I found that even orbits were starting to feel a bit more intuitive, like I could actually just do it without thinking too much. And the more I flew, the more confident I got. I was even flying and hitting, I think, some pretty cool little gaps. I mean, it was almost certainly more luck than judgment, but I was still able to do it, I think, to a relatively good degree. I really was growing in confidence and feeling like, you know, I'm starting to get this. But then I remembered that this is still a simulator, and flying in the real world, as I knew from flying the Neo, is very different. For a start, there are environmental factors like wind to take into account. Also, the Neo itself is really light and very underpowered in comparison to the kind of drones I was flying in the simulator. So doing the kind of maneuvers I was doing in the simulator on the Neo would be really difficult. And at this point I decided it's about time, I think, for me to take the Neo out and see how much my simulator time has honed my skills. Let's find out what happened. So I was really nervous, honestly, before taking off. My hands were shaking. I was kind of like, I don't know, it just doses you with adrenaline flying in manual mode.
Okay, normal mode, go over here a little bit. All right, here we go. A bit nervous to be honest, but let's see how we do. All right. Okay, we're in manual.
But as I took off, that same intuition that I'd kind of found in the simulator was there. The way the drone moved was exactly the same as in the simulator.
It feels way more intuitive than it did when I last flew, as you can probably see.
And pretty soon I was feeling actually quite confident.
This feels really nice. Oh, it's getting a bit tight. Technically going around it though.
And yes, there were things like wind and other factors that slightly threw it off and made it slightly different.
Well, oh,
but on the whole, the way I was controlling the drone just felt really natural.
This really is amazing. This is just totally different. You just have so much fine control, and it's so rewarding when you feel like you're actually flying where you want to go.
And I've got to say, flying in manual mode when you feel in control is one of the most exhilarating and just amazing feelings I think I've ever had.
Get a bit cockier as I get nearer to us. Try not to smack into us. Whoa! That was a bit quick.
You know, when you were a kid, I don't know if you used to do this, but I always used to think to myself, what would it be like to be a bird? How fun would it be to be able to just fly wherever you want and have, you know, just the world is your oyster if you're a bird? And, you know, I'd flown the Neo in the past. I'd used the motion control in FPV and stuff like that. But while I feel like I got close to the feeling of what it must be like to fly, I must admit it still felt like something was lacking.
Feel that wind. Here we go.
But as soon as I started flying in manual, it was just incredible. Being able to react to things like wind and obstacles and stuff like that. It just makes you feel so connected to the drone. It makes you feel like you are the drone.
Okay, let's turn around. But just the fact that I'm, you know, I feel like I'm in so much more control than I was.
I'm addicted to manual FPV now. So there you have it. If you've been wondering whether or not a simulator is worthwhile, the answer is yes, 100%. And I would say it's definitely worth it if you have an expensive drone that you don't really want to crash too much, like the Avata 2 for instance. The Neo's not so bad because it is cheaper and it's really robust. But if you've got like an Avata 2, you don't want to be plowing that thing into trees and stuff like that. So I would 100% recommend jumping in the simulator before taking that thing out. But also, if you're just not sure whether manual mode is something you would enjoy, because I've heard loads of people say they've tried it and actually they really hated it, it just wasn't for them, then I would say, you know, spend 15 quid on a simulator, give it a go in the simulator first before buying the kit, because obviously the kit is quite expensive. So there we have it. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do consider dropping a like. Also, be sure to subscribe. I've got loads more of this kind of content to come. I'm going to be doing loads more manual mode flying. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.